Hey guys, Stitching May here to do my update video. Today is April the 8th. My last video was on February, can never say that, the 4th, number 186. So it's been a little while, but that's just kind of how I do. I'll do a video and then I'll do, keep up with them, and then I go for a while. I have no excuse. It's just been kind of busy. If you're new here, welcome. My channel is mostly about cross stitch. I throw in some life updates as it affects my stitching. If you're coming back, you know this. Thank you. Welcome back. So I have no reason that I haven't been doing the video other than it's just I've not had a lot of time to just sit down and do the video. And then I kept putting it off, and then the more I put it off, the more I had to show you, and the more I had to show you, the longer it was going to take, and it just came this like big vicious cycle. And then today, don't know if you can notice, but there is no noise other than my cat. Like, he was just bringing me, I had to start over because the cat was bringing me his fish to throw, and then like he got on the table and went under the camera, and so I had to start over. But there is no noise because my son is on a very rare overnight play date, I guess. I don't know. He's spending the night with one of his buddies. My husband is working extra, so I had no reason not to do the video. Even my husband pointed it out. He's like, you have no reason not to do the video. So here I am. I have had one start. I'm sticking to my earning the start, and 3 finishes this time, guys. Yes, 3 finishes. I have some haul. I always have haul, probably more than I need, because like, anyway, we won't get into that. That's a whole other hobby. We've had exciting news this month. I started a new job. Well, I think I had already said that I was starting the new job when I did the last video, but I'm officially into the new job. Loving it. I left the float pool in a more grounded, permanent unit. Still get pulled here and there, but it's okay. Loving the crew I work with. It's been it was just time for me to move along from the float pool. With that said, everything's great. I do get breaks now, so I get to stitch on my breaks. And that's good. Let's see here. We've had to replace appliances. We have painted. As you can see, I say we. My husband has painted. I'm not allowed to touch paint. I make a mess. So I had really wanted the color Dragonfly for this room. It's a room, we already have it in another room in our house, and my son picked it out based on the name, and I wanted that color in here. Well, when my husband went to pick up paint, he surprised me to get the paint for my room. They didn't have the Dragonfly, but instead he picked out this color for me, and it's showing really green in this, but it's more of a turquoise color, like a soft bold, soft turquoise color. I'm not good at describing colors. It's a turquoise color, but not like a turquoise. Anyway, so he has painted 3 rooms in our home, and then I made a big boo-boo and spilled nail polish remover on our kitchen table and pulled off the finish, so we had to sand down the table, which became mostly him sanding down the table. My husband's been busy too, and refinishing the table. Just a lot of things here and there. But you guys aren't here for that. Y'all are here for the stitching, so let me jump into that. Guys, I do have my numbers. I have a lot to show you. I don't think it'll be a long video though, because it's only like, I don't know, it's a lot to show you, but over a small amount of things. So anyway, in no particular order, because it's all mixed up now that I've had to re-record and I'm not organizing it again. We'll just start in. So, the first is the new start. That is the Stony Creek, The Power of Love. I bought this several years ago. It was before the pandemic. And I had it just in my stuff to eventually do. And then when the stuff with Ukraine came about, I felt like it was the perfect time to start it. So the quote is, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. And I was surprised to find out that this was actually a Jimi Hendrix quote. So I'm stitching this in the called for colors, except for one. It calls for Week Style Works molasses. And I decided to just use a brown, just the DMC conversion for that, which was the 3031. And I did actually have, it calls for a Threadworks, and I had it already. Threadworks Spanish Olives, which I already had that. So this is the colorway. I'm not going to tell you every single number, but I will hold up the number of things because it's very true to color. But they just seem richer in the threads. I don't know. The colors always seem so much better on the threads. And I'm stitching this on a piece of scrap 20 count vintage country mocha that I had, and I'm doing 1/2. Oh no, 1/1 because it's Ada, because it's 20 count. Duh. And this is where I am. I've done some of the leaves. I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to pick it back up again. The colors are fun and they change just enough that you don't feel like you're doing huge blocks of colors, but then they're large enough blocks that you don't feel like you're doing ninja stitches constantly. Like, it's the perfect project and I'm loving it. So that's all that I got done. That is 525 stitches. Okay, the cat's going crazy. This is his cat tree and also his favorite window. And he's in a mood tonight where he's wanting to play fetch. So he brings me his fish. If you see the window, the curtain moved. We're not haunted. It's just the cat. Okay, next is my most recent piece that I worked on. And this is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I got this when it was still free, when she released it for a short period of time as a freebie, and then she started charging for it. I jumped on the bandwagon when everybody else was, and enabled Emily to do this, and was supposed to be enabling Ellen to do it, but she still hasn't started it yet. So I am stitching this on, or in rather, the colorway is a 12 weight sulky in the colorway Peacock. I'm stitching it 1/1 again on the initial part of that vintage country mocha. Actually, no, I lied. My initial piece for this was in here too. I think I've got 3 pieces on this 20 count. So when I first put this up, I stitched and realized I had a mistake and had to frog most of my stitching out. So I put it in timeout, and then it just sat in timeout until this year. I pulled it out for a monochromatic prompt. This is where I currently am. I finished out the bird and this diamond. Guys, for whatever reason, when I see this, I think of a kidney. I don't know why, but every time I see that little diamond, I think of a kidney and this little... Anyway, so I did 666 stitches on this one, which is comical to me that, because this became the devil. This flower right here last night, I think I stitched it like 6 times. I just kept missing a stitch here, missing a stitch there, and finally I was like, okay, I'm getting that in, and I'm putting it down, and I will not put it in timeout. I'm going to put it away so that I don't end up hating this piece. But there it is, and I'm loving the way this thread is playing out. I went ahead and ordered another one. I'd already gotten the big, like, 330 yard spool, but I love the color. I'm sure I'll use it for something else, and I just don't want to run out. So I went ahead and ordered a second spool. I almost knocked my coffee over. And this is a needle minder from Stitch and Button Thick. It's a Plague Doctor. I figured that was very appropriate. Something else that I noticed is that I thought that I would put the year that like, 2020 was when it became the pandemic. And then whatever year the pandemic ends will be here, but plus it'll be the year that I finish it, because it'll be 20 whatever year I finish it. I'm going to pretend like that was planned. If I can finish it, hopefully this year, for so many reasons. We want this pandemic to end. Oh, some little cat who will remain unnamed decided to play with my spool of thread and ended up knotting some of it up. So I now have the part that I just finally cut up into pieces because I was not able to untangle it on this makeshift index card thread drop. It's just done. Here, I need to keep this from tangling anymore. Make sure that's not my kid. Oh, okay. It's not the kid, but the mom let me know the kid is okay. The next piece is My Early Days by Plum Street Samplers. I never know if it's Samplers or Sampler. This is my New Year, New Start that I started with Emily this year. I'm stitching this in the called for colors, except for one. I'll show you the change there. I'm stitching this on 36 count Tuscan by Color and Cotton. It was one of my Fabric of the Month pieces. I put in 478 stitches, mostly in this area right here. This is also the color change. So this plant leaf area is supposed to be the same as this green in the border. But Emily put in the darker green because plants, you know, I like my plants to be dark green and healthy, and so does she, and I decided to copy her. So that's mostly where I stitched, was in this dark green. I may have stitched some on this 1/1 butterfly. 1/1 on 36 count. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. But I'll do it for this piece. But I will probably have more of this than I need, and I'll cut it off later. Because I don't cut fabric now, because I'll make a mistake. So there that piece is. I'll show that in a minute. That's one of my finishes. Oh, so this is that's haul, so I'll show that next. Guys, I swear I've done this before. Finishes. These are in no particular order. Oh. Ooh, Spangled. My other long dog sampler. This is one that I'm stitching along with Belinda and Sammy J from Sammy J Stitches. This is what it will look like when it's finished. The colors, my printer was not printing it very well, so don't look at the colors, don't compare the colors. I'm stitching it in the called for DNC. I am stitching this on, I have no clue. I think this is just some of the MCG textiles 32 count linen that some people don't like. I don't remember what prompt I stitched on this for, but I know that I got in 449 stitches. I think I worked this basket. I think I worked in that basket and got the first 20 in. So there that is. And that's actually the back of the needle minder. Some of the places that I've ordered sent the little, to where you didn't have to try to pull so hard to get your needle minder off, and they would send these backs. And I just use that as a needle minder. It was like getting 2 in 1 for me. I just dropped my project bag. It'll stay on the floor. What is this one? Ooh, I like this one too. This bag was a gift. Let's see here. This bag was a gift from Chelsea Ellis. She made it for me. I think I showed it in my last video, but I'll show it again just to be sure. It's got this beautiful dragonfly fabric on the inside. And of course this amazing dragonfly fabric on the outside. The others were just in Amazon mesh bags. This one was a gift from Emily. I love these colors. This was not a Momly bag though. There's the inside. This is Matter's Choice. I'll insert a picture of what that will look like here. And then where I was before. This is one that I'm stitching in a Threadworks thread number 10371. And it's this brown color. Just a very brown. And the fabric is a 36 count patina from Coloring Cotton. This was not, I got this one off of eBay. It was in a lot. So I've not seen it again. So I don't know if she's still making it. This is not the way that she labeled her fabric anymore. So I'm thinking it may be an old one. And on this one I got in 417 stitches. Guys, this fabric, like, I'm in love with this fabric. And if she doesn't make it anymore, I'm gonna try to petition her to change that because this fabric is amazing. Sorry, coffee break. And my magnet stuck to my table. Look at this color of this fabric. It's like so perfect. It's greenish, turquoise, and grayish, and brownish. And so I finished out this. I think the flower was already done. I finished out this border piece and then pulled out or started these little things and did, calling that a moose. Could be an elk. Calling it a moose. And I think that's a bird butt. But there that is, guys. And this is a needle minder that was a gift from me, for me. Don't know who it came from. I love it. And I'm worried because, like, it's getting darker. It's one of those bottle cap needles that's also got the black gemstones around it. And it says, "My soul is fed with needle and thread." And I love that quote. So I'm concerned because it's getting a little, not tarnished, but I mean, it's an old needle minder. And, you know, I'm hoping it doesn't mess up. But that's it. Okay. I think it should be noted that so far I have not had any random needles on my project. Last year, I think every video I had at least one needle just stuck in the fabric where I got through stitching and just stuck it to the side. Is that everything? That can't be everything. I stitched one more. Here we go. Oh, I've got to get... I gotta get a few projects. At least 2 projects. So this is, I don't have what it will look like before it's finished. That made no sense. I have what it looks like before it's finished because that's what it looks like now. I don't have what it will look like when it's finished. I'll insert that here. This is by Little House in the Works. It's called Giving Thanks. I'm thankful for my daily bread and also for my cross-stitch thread. This is one that Connie did as one of her birthday starts. This is on 20 count. Not vintage. I think it's sand. This was my first piece of 20 count fabric that I worked on. So maybe I did get that 20 count for pandemic. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway. This is very close to a finish. In fact, I may pull this one out next for my small piece. We'll see. I'm stitching this in the called for colors because it came as a kit, except for the fabric. And I put in 307 stitches on this one. I think it was mostly the wording. So literally I need to finish out. I finished all the words. I've got to do the bottom motif, which is needles and bobbins and a flower, and then decide if I'm going to do It's got another little part that says needles and pins, but I think that's supposed to be a second pattern. So far, I'm only going to do this box. I don't know if I'm going to do the needles and pins part or not, because it doesn't really go in. I think it's supposed to be a separate pattern, because it says giving thanks and needles and pins. So I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave that out and just do this little bitty block. And in that case, all I have to do are the needles and the flower, and that's definitely close to finish. So maybe that'll be a goal for this month, is to finish this one. Because I do, one of my prompts is for a small. And it may be this one. This one may be the one. Instead of starting a small, I may work on this one. Sorry, a lot of crinkly, a lot of rattly. And that again is just in an Amazon Basics bag. Let me pause and get the other projects that I need to grab, because I forgot to show them to you or get them for you. So, I had a small panic attack because I couldn't find one of them. It was in this basket the whole time. And that is my henna mandala. This bag was a gift from my friend Kelly. She has since moved. Look at the dragonflies and the butterflies. It's perfect, and it's the perfect size for a small piece. This was for a while my to-go piece, but now it's been moved back. I may grab it out to, I don't know. This is stitched in DMC. The thread number is, I don't know. I used to have a tag in here where I could tell you, but I don't know now. It is stitched on a piece of 18 count or 14 count, no named Ada, that I then hand dyed myself when I was just playing with hand dyeing stuff, and then kind of liked what I did. And then I had this henna mandala to start, so here we are. This is, I know nothing for this, do I? What is this colorway? It's a DMC. I can't believe I didn't write it on here. I should have written on one of the tags. DMC though. If I can remember, I'll insert it. So this is where I currently am. This is the entire upper right corner. So this is the halfway point here. I want to say this is the end point. Here. It is. Yep. So this is the entire top. This is as wide as it will be. And then there's the halfway down point. Because this is the center motif, centerpiece. Right here. Guys, I swear I've done these before. Even though I'm awkward. I'm always awkward. Another reason I don't do these videos a lot is I always feel awkward in them. So for henna, I put in 549 stitches in this one. I think this is another monochromatic that I chose to for another prompt. This is a I Love Black Cats needle minder. It's a one from Stitch and Button. No, he is. I gotta show him to you. He's chilling now, so I'm gonna leave him alone until the end of the video, and then I'll pick him up and show him to you because he's gotten so big. So big. Like he's bigger than our Chihuahua. My mother-in-law jokes that she thinks he's part panther because he just grew so fast. Okay, the next one and the final whip to show you is my horror movie Sal. This is a freebie style from a Facebook group. I've ordered more charts from her. Ashley is her name. Cannot think of the name. I'll insert it. This is stitched on some leftover fabric that I started the first piece of this on for my Prairie Moon. The Thine is the Trick is called Hexing. It's a beautiful pink and purple color. I had some left over and that's what I've stitched this on. So she has different movies. I'm so behind. Like, I've got a whole other cloud. I got a lot of stuff I need to catch up on. She did rechart Jeepers Creepers because some people did not like the director for Jeepers Creepers because of some of his past. I get that. But one of mine and my husband's date nights where it was Jeepers Creepers, so I left the Jeepers Creepers in there only because of the memory of him. So there that is. So these are in the call for colors. I can't show you what it will look like when it's finished because I don't know what it will look like. I can show you where I was before and tell you that even with not being called up, I've put in 1,255 stitches in this piece already. This is a needle minder from, again, Vic, Stitch and Button, True Crime Junkie, which is very true. I am very much so a true crime junkie. I love my true crime videos. And this is in a Stitch and Button bag. Guys, some of you may notice that I was using a project. I'm reusing this bag. This was being used for another project. This is a Baby Yoda and Star Wars on the inside with the quote from Star Wars on the pull. Which means that the project that was in this bag is finished. And that was My Adventure Awaits, which was my birth sampler for my nephew. It is finally finished. This is from, I'm going to hold it so that you don't see his details. Just out of, I don't think my in-laws would mind. But he's not my kid to share that with. So, this is what it looks like. Got the bear. And the adventure awaits. And then at the bottom it has his first and middle name. And then his birth stats. You know what? I've already put it on Instagram. I'll just a little bit, okay. So, there that is. Because I've already shared it. Because this was over here and I had to frog this entire, like I finished it. I was done. And then I realized that this was all this way. So then I had to unpick it. And one of my friends on Instagram said, oh, how do you already know what size he's going to be when he's not born yet? Because I had put 2022 in there. He was born on Star Wars Day, so that's why I had this in my Star Wars bag. This is from Stitches Lovers Shop on Etsy. It is a Ukrainian designer. So, guys, I love it. I love a bunch of her pieces. They're all beautiful. I love the way this looks like a mountain scene, like from a distance. Like, I just can't get over that. So excited. So there's my first finish, guys. I have multiple finishes to show you. That will be framed and gifted to him on his first birthday party. Made my deadline, Belinda. She made a joke that I was going to start it and then not touch it. And I kind of did that. Like I went hard and heavy on it for a while and then just kind of put it to the side and hadn't worked on it this year until then. And then I finished it. My other finish was a start from last year. This is in the Prairie Schooler Frog Fairy series. So these were individual charts and I had seen them and fell in love with them but couldn't locate all the charts. And then randomly Prairie Schooler released them all as a bundle. There's a frog, a bird, a snail, and a rabbit, I want to say. They're little fairies riding these little animals. I'm stitching this on a 32 count spa, I think, that I got from Hobby Lobby. Each one will fit. So, one piece of fabric from Hobby Lobby will fit 2 of these fairies on it with this much room. So I bought 3 pieces of fabric so I can stitch 5 things. These are one of my smalls. I will start the next one soon. I don't know when. So January I finished Pugs Not Drugs. February, I think I finished Preschooler Santa. March, I finished The Frog. And in April, I finished Adventures Awaits. So I've got 4 finishes this year already. And that's more, I think, than I had last year. My next finish, spoiler alert, I've already told you, is the 1984 Santa. So I now have all except for the 2022 Prairie Schooler Santa, which I will get. And this is the 1984 one, which is this one. My next one will be the 1985 one. My goal is to stitch them all. I am stitching them on 25 count Summer New Khaki, which you cannot find anymore because leave it to me to choose that fabric. 1/1 and a called for DNC. So there's my 1984 one. I started with that one because, well, that's the order and that's also the year I was born. That's what made me fall in love with these. Like, I'd always loved them and was like, oh, I can't get them because I won't be able to get them all. And then I realized that they started the year I was born, my first Christmas. So then I had to get them. So I have one for every year. Every Christmas I've enjoyed. Look how little it is. It's so tiny. I plan to finish these in small ornaments, probably pillow ornaments, like little bitty flat pillow ornaments. And then I would love to get one of those just ornament trees, which makes no sense because all trees are ornament trees. But you know, the little wire ornament display trees, and put them all on that. I don't have enough of this, I don't think, so I'm going to randomly throw in some 25 count mushroom because I can't find enough of this Summer New Khaki. I mean, I got all but like 6 of them to be able to do on that Summer New Khaki because I don't make that anymore. But instead of just having 6 in different color, I think I'm going to slowly throw in some mushroom here and there. That way it's not such a jarring difference. And that'll also be one of my next starts, will be the next one in that. So, because I plan to have one of those going at all times until I finish all 5 of the fairies and all 38 of the Santas. That's it for whips and finishes and starts. The rest is haul. I know some of you guys don't enjoy that, and if you don't, that's fine. I get it. I love that part of the video, so it's probably why I have so much stash. So that's what I'm doing next. So if you love it, stay. If not, see you next time. So, haul. And some of it's gifts too. Not all of this was haul. Look away, honey, look away. What's that? Oh, I worked on this one. There was one more whip. Oh, well, they'll just have to see it next time if they've already left. This is Flower Quaker by Vera Bina Designs. You cannot currently get her designs on Etsy. I love this design, guys. It's beautiful. I love all of her designs. 236 stitches on this one. I think I came up and did, of course I'll show where I was before. I want to say, I don't know what I worked on. I don't know if I came up and did more of this flower or if I did one of these motifs. I worked on it somewhere in here. This is just on, again, the MCG Textiles Raw Linen 32 count that a lot of you don't like, but I did not mind it. So I've got a bunch of it because there was a bunch of it out there. And the called for DNC that it started in. So that was a total of 7,453 stitches since February the 4th. Okay, now for real, onto the haul. I even wrote it down and didn't realize that I hadn't shown it to you guys. That was not one of the ones, obviously, that I was looking for when I was looking for the ones I didn't have. Okay. That is most definitely all of my whips. Haul and gifts. So, one gift, stitchy kindness, that I got was this beautiful daisy. I love daisies. They were my mom's favorite flower. They're my favorite flower. From Vic Stitch and Button. It just says Daisy. It's a, who is it? I don't think I can tell you who it's even by. It's a full coverage, so it'll be a little while before I start it. She had it insured, Terry Lee Steinmeier. I don't know when I'll do it. I'm thinking about maybe doing it on some blue fabric and just doing the daisy. Maybe not even doing the word daisies, just doing just the daisy. I haven't decided yet. But I want to. My camera's about to die. Some 25 count Lugana. Again, this is just tan. I grabbed the rest of the threads that I needed when Fire Poppies went out of business for this one. That was a gift from Belinda last year. The Scarlet Letter is I call it a companion piece to my Seeking Refuge. In a perfect world, you would find me here with the birds and flowers and dogs and the deer. I got my monthly installment of Color and Cotton. This one is Stoneware. Guys, this color is amazing. Like, perfect. And then this was, what month was this? This was February's Color Threads. I'm in the Prim. And then I picked up a Bent Creek Thing of Things. This is a basket full of eggs. Basket full of Easter. The kit, got that from Stitch and Knitch. Then Rain Washed. This was the March Club from Color and Cotton. Check it out so you can see the color. My camera's about to die, so I'm having to hurry. But I want to show you everything. I even charged it. That failed attempt. It's kind of a gray, greeny, tannish. It reads gray. And then of course the March fabric threads. I'm staying in the club, guys. Even though I'm getting to where I'm getting some repeats, it works for me. These were gifted to me from Connie, the JBW Designs, the cat and the dog. And she also gave me the April just cross stitch. This much just cross stitch. Look at those eggs. And the girls. And the red work. Oh, so in that one. So many. It's crazy, just cross stitch. Like 1 month I'll look and I'm like, meh, I don't want it. Then the next month I'll look and I'm like, I have to have it all. Also, when Fire Poppies closed and I was throwing those other threads in, I grabbed a couple more skeins of this dragonfly. I think I'm eventually going to do a long dog in this dragonfly. Or maybe in ink circles. But it's just brown and greens. I grab random ones when I see them on sale. Literally got this at my Dollar General. Thought I maybe could do a flat fold on this. The other day it was a place to do my nails so I wouldn't mess up our table again. And then, from the lovely Stitch and Button, a bag. I just flew through that haul. I also did that to where maybe my husband won't notice how much there is. Guys, look at the birds. Look how pretty. That's just so elegant. And it's got a bird. Tipple. And then a random piece of fabric that was at the Goodwill that I might use to finish something with at some point. Guys, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Sorry that I flew through the haul. Sorry it was disorganized, but that's me. As always, take care and happy stitching.